Hey, this is Mark Moore, aka Tuxedo Mark, in various places on the internet. It's 6:47 p.m. according to the computer clock on Friday, November 30th, 2012. And yesterday, my mom and I went to see Skyfall in the theater, the new James Bond film. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I have vague memories of seeing Casino Royale in the theater, and I enjoyed that too. I really couldn't tell you which one's better, but Skyfall seems to be getting the same type of reaction online. Like, the last time that I checked IMDb, it was like an average of 8.1 out of 10 stars, which I think is basically around what Casino Royale had when it first came out. It went down over time, of course, but same thing will probably happen with Skyfall. Okay. I guess I'll tell you a little bit of my history with James Bond and familiarity with it. I'm not a huge Bond fan. My mom prefers Roger Moore, mostly from watching him on The Saint, which I never saw, but she watched him on The Saint, and then, later on liked him as James Bond. And in fact, I'm kind of named after Roger Moore, believe it or not, because I was born Mark Popovsky, and my family's last name was changed to Moore. I don't know the exact date, but probably around a month after my birth. So I grew up as Mark Moore, but I think my mom said it was my sister that suggested the name Moore for when they changed the family name. But yeah, I've seen Roger Moore's films. I don't know if I've seen all of them. I know I haven't seen every Bond film, but I've seen some Roger Moore films, probably some Sean Connery films as well. I did not see On Her Majesty's Secret Service with George Lazenby, whatever his name is. I've seen GoldenEye, but I don't think I've seen any other Pierce Brosnan films. I didn't see either of Timothy Dalton's films. I saw Casino Royale in the theater. I didn't see Quantum of Solace in the theater, but I got it, I believe it was on Black Friday of last year at Walmart. I got the DVD, but I didn't watch it until maybe around a week or two ago, in anticipation of Skyfall. I liked Casino Royale. It was very good. Didn't care much for Quantum of Solace. I mean, it was okay, but the story was kind of hard to follow. Yeah. But anyway, Skyfall I really enjoyed, and so did my mom. I mean, she doesn't like Daniel Craig as Bond, but overall she liked the movie, and I did too. It's definitely longer than Quantum of Solace. It runs over 2 hours long, but I was never once bored. And I'm not gonna spoil everything. By the way, I'm sorry about the zoom. I guess there's some kind of auto zoom on the webcam. It makes, or auto adjust or something. It makes things go blurry every so often. But anyway, I'm not gonna spoil too much. There will be some slight spoilers. Okay, basic plot. It deals with domestic terrorism. It's like, terrorists embedded in, like, the London police and all that stuff. And I won't really spoil who the villain is. Well, maybe I should. Yeah, he's a former MI6 agent. We don't meet him until a good deal into the film, but yeah, someone that M used to know. Going into the movie, I didn't know much except that something from M's past would come back to haunt her. Let's see. Oh, speaking of M, I love the character. Miss Dench does a great job as always. I don't think I've really seen her in many of the Brosnan films. I think I saw only GoldenEye of the Brosnan films, but yeah, she was around since back then. And then she transferred over to the Daniel Craig films. Even though the Craig films are supposed to be a reboot, but you can't really put the Bond. That's assuming the Bond films have like a previous continuity, a unified continuity to begin with. You can't fit them all together. Not even the pre-Craig ones. Just treat each new Bond actor, treat his films as their own separate continuity, their own separate canon. Even though obviously the producers of the films try to link them together, but yeah, you can't do it. It doesn't work. Okay. Oh, this one scene I just got mentioned. Bond is presumed dead. After a mission, he goes missing. He goes off the grid for 3 months. Turns out it doesn't explain how, but he somehow winds up in this tropical island or something. He's hanging out with the natives, and he participates. He participates in an extreme drinking game. Yeah, he has to drink from a shot glass while there's a scorpion on his wrist, and not let it bite him. He finishes the glass and then he covers the scorpion with the glass. It's awesome. Wow. Okay, but I like that part. Let's see. Overall, it's a very well done film, and it deals with kind of a sensitive issue. Homegrown terrorism, or it's just it would make a lot of people uncomfortable think about that. But they tackled it, and they did a good job with it. Let me think here. Okay, so basically this rogue former agent that he's exposing embedded MI6 agents in various terror groups around the world, basically posting their profiles on YouTube and blowing their covers, and obviously some of them are gonna get killed by the terrorists whose groups that they're infiltrating. And this is all to get back at he felt M abandoned him and left him for dead when he was captured years ago, except that M agreed to let him go, and she got 6 agents in return or whatever. So it's not like M did anything really bad or nothing. Anyway, what else? Bond girls. There's not really any specific Bond girl. I mean, there's the girl that he was with on the island, but she was there for maybe only a few seconds total of screen time, maybe a minute. She doesn't have any lines. She doesn't have a name, and that's it. We never see her again. There's a girl that stares at Bond from a building when he's in Singapore. She stares across the way at him, and then he disappears, and we never see her again. It's kind of an odd scene, actually. When you see the movie, yes, go see the movie. when you see the movie, you'll understand why I say it's kind of weird. But anyway, there's a girl in Macau or whatever the place is called. She's there for the longest, and I won't spoil it, but I really didn't care for her. And there's another girl. There's an MI6 agent that's there pretty much on and off throughout the entire film. We don't get her name until the end. But yeah, so but there's nothing like between her and Bond. I mean, there's a small moment when she's like shaving him, his beard, and but that's it, and nothing happens between them. So, as I said, there's really not a really identifiable, full-fledged Bond girl in this film, which I guess is kind of unusual for this series. Okay, what else? Oh, the title, Skyfall. Now, going into this film, I really didn't know what it was going to be about, but the title, Skyfall, it would give the impression that it's something heavy, like nuclear war, maybe. And the theme song from Adele, which is good, by the way, it's really good, and I've never listened to Adele before, but it's a good song. It doesn't help matters, and combine that with the main title sequence, which is also good. It really makes you think, like, ooh, geez, what's this film gonna be about? Jeez. But no, we don't get the answer to what Skyfall is until like way late into the film, and by then I'd forgotten about it anyway. It's the name of Bond's family estate. It's the mansion that he grew up in Scotland. Yeah, that's it. And that's where that's where the final stand against the villain comes at Skyfall. But yeah, so this is like this is a surprisingly very grounded film. It's grounded like Casino Royale, and I mean there's high tech stuff with like, you know, computer surveillance and stuff, and there's Q obviously, and I like the new Q. Yeah, they made Q like a very early 20-something computer geek. By the way, Q from the Q division of MI6 apparently stands for quartermaster. He tells Bond, "I'm your new quartermaster," and Bond's like, "You've got to be kidding." But yeah, so. But yeah, I like the Q, I like the M. So everything was very good. I even like the villain. I mean, he comes across as kind of, you know, but you'll see when you see the film. But yeah, he was pretty good. I liked all of the characters, even the old family friend that Bond meets in Scotland. I liked him too. And surprisingly, we get a lot of backstory about Bond, where he grew up, his parents' names, the fact that he's an orphan. We don't get everything, like we don't know exactly how he was orphaned. We're not told that. Maybe it's mentioned in the novels, which I haven't read. Maybe it's mentioned in previous films, but I don't know. We're not told when he was recruited into MI6, but M does mention to him, orphans make the best recruits, or something like that. So yeah, it really lets us identify with Bond instead of giving him a vague, unrevealed history. They actually they go into it, kind of. And it's nice that that they made him Scottish, or at least part Scottish, judging by his mother's name. You would think that she would be like French, I guess. Monique Delacroix Bond or something like that. But yeah, so I know that supposedly Ian Fleming had taken a liking to Sean Connery so much that he gave Bond a part Scotch, or like some kind of Scotch history in the novels, but it was nice that he included it in the film. I guess it's kind of a tribute to Sean Connery, so that was nice. By the way, the Scottish family friend or whatever doesn't have a Scottish accent, but a minor nitpick. Oh, they brought back the Aston Martin. It's funny when Bond has to get away with M for her own protection. They don't want to use a company car because it has a tracer on it, so Bond takes her to some kind of parking garage or whatever, and they ask, or a storage facility or whatever, the Aston Martin's in there. Sorry, and when they get in, and he fires it up, and the James Bond theme starts playing up, like, oh yeah, that's nice. And when she asks where he's taking her, and he says back in time, obviously he means back to his childhood home, but, you know, considering he's driving the Aston Martin, and, you know, that takes on double meaning. So all the action scenes were good, even the opening one in Istanbul. I mean, they're driving motorcycles on top of a roof of a bazaar or whatever. They're driving motorcycles on rooftops, and it's like, yeah, right. But no, all the action scenes are really good, even though they might be somewhat implausible. What else? Is there anything else to say? I won't spoil the ending, but let's just say that while they were in Skyfall, I kind of predicted it coming. I started thinking, and I'm like, I know how this is going to end. I know how the movie's going to end, and sure enough, it happened. Yeah. What else? Is there anything else to say here? Like I said, it's a long movie, but you won't feel the time drag on or nothing like that. It keeps your attention. I suppose that's about it. Yeah. Oh, one other thing to say is that we spend a lot of time, even though it goes around the world, obviously, Singapore, Macau, or whatever, Istanbul at the beginning, and then Scotland at the end. But we do spend a lot of time in London. It's nice to see the city. So yeah, it spends a lot of time in the UK, basically, which is fitting because this is about domestic terrorism, homegrown terrorism, pretty much. So yeah, I guess all I can see now is go see it. If you haven't already seen it, go see it. It's really good. Okay, so that's it. It's my review. Take it for what it's worth. Just turned 7:08 p.m. and thanks for watching.